Then there's the biggest problem of all. Hello everybody, and welcome to a chilly May morning up here on the mountain with the Ferrari Roma Spider. Now, for the end of 25 going into 2026, the Spider replaces the Roma Coupe entirely. They're discontinuing the Coupe. And so if you want a front engine 2+2 powered by that delightful 3.9 liter twin turbo V8, this is your jam. That styling, extremely smoothed out and curvaceous throwback at the front end to the 250 Lusso of the early 1960s with that sort of shark nose overbite really works. And boy, is this a Ferrari when it gets going. 612 horsepower, 561 pound-feet of torque, with 80% of that available at just 1,900 RPM, peak power all the way up at 7,500 RPM. So you just have an enormously wide power band, an 8-speed dual-clutch gearbox, rear-wheel drive. With the Spider, you've got 48% of the weight at the front, 52% at the rear, and remember, the entire engine is behind the front axle. Both of Ferrari's front engine cars are actually front mid-engine cars. The color is amazing, Verde Masoni Opaco, or Mason Green. It is a matte, iridescent gold green finish, fabulous, and Ferrari has developed a new top fabric that is a sort of technical and lightly also iridescent top. It's a new type of fabric and has a shimmer on it. A lot of people have stopped and asked about that. They've also listened and changed some things where they could. For instance, the lockout button so you don't accidentally brush the stupid haptic thing, and the haptic start-stop button itself, being a terrible idea, at least glows. There's also a wind deflector that pops up right there if you want it to, and then you can shove it out of the way. There's a new rear spoiler geometry to balance the aero for the Spider, and a new oil pump that helps the car prime faster on cold starts. We first have to deactivate start-stop. That's a must. We're going to set the Manatino to race, and we are out of here. Let's go! Now, before I talk about this car, you're gonna need to have your vegetables. A couple words from today's sponsor. Be right back. Guys, today's video is brought to you by Drift Scents. Drift makes these beautifully luxurious air care products for both your car and for your home, using only premium essential and fragrance oil blends free of harmful chemicals that traditional fragrance companies are using. Drift Scents are vegan, cruelty-free, and pet-friendly. But the best part about Drift is you get it as a subscription, so you never run out and go, I gotta go buy it. You receive a starter kit with several different scents, and then you can get monthly refills for the home atomizer or your car visor mount, as they recommend changing it every 30 days. And with the scent of the month featuring a new limited edition scent each month inspired by the season, the memories and emotions will attach to you. The products are not just visually appealing, but also functionally complementary to your car's interior or your home, ensuring that they harmonize with any space. I've got one in my car, and it does keep it smelling fresh for a really long time and keep the restrooms at WCCS and my Taycan smelling good all year round. So make sure to use my coupon code TST55 at drift.co or scan the QR code on screen for 55% off. That's less than $5 for your first month. And thank you to Drift for sponsoring today's video. Revs! That's what you do with a Ferrari, right? You rev! You've got the flat plane crank, you've got those equal length headers, And man, does it sound every bit of a Ferrari. It is exciting. Small displacement V8s are good. So, I have to say, when you're driving around the city in this car, I don't know. It doesn't feel that special. It's clearly beautiful, and it sounds good all the time, but that's kind of where it ends. When it's in the automatic and comfort programs, it's really upshifting very early. It's very lazy. They kind of slush up the gearbox a little bit to make it feel more like an auto. You come out here, you flick that Manatino just 2 clicks to the right, and Habibi, a Ferrari it is at last. They say 3460 is the curb weight. Let's assume they're being slightly optimistic, but nevertheless, very agile on its feet, right? Again, front mid-engine, so you have some of the benefits of a front-engine car, which is relaxed mannerisms on the highway, but it does turn into a corner much better than if it was a true front-engine car, where you'll really start to get that understeer. Ferrari typical quick steering rack, although it's not too darty here, it's actually quite balanced and nice. Gear changes, very sharp and responsive. The paddle shifters are carbon, and it doesn't have as rewarding of a tug as some of the metal ones, but carbon is good. 8,000, 8,000, over and over, 8,000. And unlike the 488 and the F8, when you have this V8 with its exhaust runners running underneath the car, it does produce a different sort of beefier tone. I like that. Even though all Ferraris come with ceramic brakes now, I would expect a little more bite from these ceramics. They feel, even though the car's only got 1,200 miles on it, they either feel like they're not quite bedded in, or maybe someone has had a little too much fun and glazed the pad, because they feel sort of like carbon ceramics from like 10 years ago, except that's only when I'm trying to stop hard. When I'm in town and just using a very gentle amount of brake to putter around, it's a little jerky. My wife doesn't like that very much. Whoa! I'll tell you something though, and I mean it. It's kind of funny. This car gets no love from other Ferraris. Typically, you drive a Ferrari around Los Angeles, you see another Ferrari, you do the wave, the Ferrari wave. Everyone knows about the wave. You're doing the wave no matter what you're driving if it's an enthusiast car. Other Ferraris give this no love, no respect. They'll wave, but it's like a half-ass wave, no smile. Depending on the car, there could be a tinge of disdain attached to it. It's actually kind of funny, considering this is like a brand new, very, very expensive and very fast car. We're talking about 0 to 60 in 3.1, 200 mile an hour top speed, or 199 because it's the convertible. It's not like this is some second-rate thing. But in the world of Ferrari, the Roma, like the Portofino in California before it, is not good enough for a lot of Ferrari people. This is how you get in the door. Why? Because it's the one they'll sell you. I don't want to be like that, but that's kind of how it is. Doesn't mean it's a bad car. It's actually quite a nice car. But Ferrari likes to say that, this is most people's first Ferrari. Well, no shit. I bet next year the Puro Sangue will take that over. Let's flip around and go back the other way. That 3-2 downshift, we're going to come back to that. As we turn around, be very careful. Good ground clearance on the Roma. It doesn't have nose lift, but you don't scrape. Here we go. Okay, how about some things I don't like? They can't get rid of the haptic stuff fast enough, honestly. The haptic controller on the steering wheel, okay, it's locked out. I'm not brushing it by accident, but it's so confusing and non-intuitive, and it's really distracting while driving. Haptic mirror adjusters, like, who is that helping? And some of the other controls are a little confusing and clunky. It generally takes 1 to 3 minutes for my CarPlay to come up on the central screen. That's a little slow, if you ask me. And then there's the biggest problem of all, the trunk. I mean, it's a Ferrari. Are we going to complain about the trunk? Yeah, we are. Because whether the top is up or down, there's a divider in the trunk that takes up about half of the space. I can't fit my camera case in the trunk, which is sort of my barometer for luggage. It fits in the overhead bin. It fits in the frunk of a Porsche or a McLaren. It fits in the frunk of a 296. Doesn't fit in the trunk of this. So, and again, you know, some cars you can put the top up and move that divider, so at least in your transit stages you can fit your luggage. So you either have to have some very special custom sized luggage, or you have to use all soft luggage and huck it in the back seat, which is useful for people anyway. Or, excuse me, useless for people. Even a small child is not fitting back there besides behind a regular human. The point being is you have this GT car that seems at first glance wonderfully set up for touring. I mean, you look at this and you go, oh man, a weekend with the missus in wine country in a Roma Spider, like, sign me up. Except that you won't fit your bags, or you have to carry really weird bags. I mean, like, straight up, that sucks. I was going to have a helper to make this video today, but I can't because the camera case has got to ride where the helper would go. To a point, you know, the engine, the acceleration, the sound, and the Ferrari-ness will make you forget about those things, but it's not everything. I mean, like, if you're going away for a weekend, like, your rollerboard carry-on, like, that'll fit in a 296 and really not fit in this, which is weird, right? That seems weird. Okay, so let's put the Roma Spider into context. Obviously, if you're buying a Ferrari or a super sports roadster, that is a passion-driven purchase. It's not an objective, well, this is better at this is better at this purchase. You look, you see, you can afford, you want, you buy. Like, that's how people end up in these super sports cars. But nevertheless, principal competition. You've got your new Aston Vantage Roadster, okay, which drives pretty similar, dynamically pretty close. Doesn't have the Ferrari fizz, but that AMG V8, really good. Better trunk space, better user interfaces. The top goes up and down in 7 seconds instead of the 13 and a half for this. And so actually, the Ferrari Roma could be a better sports car than the Aston Vantage, but the Vantage is definitely a better roadster than the Roma. Then you've got your Porsche 911 Turbo convertible. Objectively, a, quote, better car. Perhaps less interesting, but you've got more back seat space. The top also doesn't intrude into the trunk space. You do have a bigger trunk. You have more power and better performance, and you've got that sort of known quantityness of Porsche. You've got your Bentley GTC. That's a true 4-seat convertible, and that's heavier and more set up for touring, even though it can handle pretty good. So how do I rank the cars? If you love Porsche, the Aston and the Ferrari will not satisfy you, although in my opinion, the faster the Porsche, the less you want a convertible. I would buy a convertible of a T or a Carrera. I wouldn't want a turbo cab. Aston Vantage Roadster, what a spectacular machine. I'm going to be making a video of it later, but for a lot less money than this. This car is $275 base, $453 with options, and none of those options other than sport exhaust contribute to performance. The Aston's a lot cheaper, your performance is the same, and to most people, it's just as exotic. The Bentley is much more for cruising and less more so as a super sports car. Trunk space could be the defining factor. Price could be the defining factor. Dynamically, where the Roma beats the Aston is with the dual clutch gearbox. It's just better at this level of car than the ZF 8-speed. But no bad choices, really, unless you want to carry luggage in your Ferrari. There is one other thing that I honestly think is a huge fail. I can't let Ferrari get away with design flaws. And when the top goes down, the rear three-quarter window doesn't go down all the way. In fact, this little bit, that's all the way down. It doesn't look good. And I can't finish this video without calling a company out that's all about things that look good. It seems like they didn't develop the coupe and the Spider at the same time. Otherwise, that would have gone all the way down. That's just weird. Having said that, I do really like how this car drives. For a front engine car, it has a beautiful balance, and I can't wait to try the 12C in a couple months. That's gonna be sick too. But thank you for you guys for coming on this ride with me. Thank you to Ferrari for letting me have a go in the Roma Spider. It is a delightful vehicle as long as you don't have to carry too much stuff, and I will see all of you later. Bye. Make sure to use my coupon code TST55 at drift.co or scan the QR code on screen for 55% off. That's less than $5 for your first month. And thank you to Drift for sponsoring today's video.